low cost of living in the Philippines. It is very, very cheap, so everyone keeps telling me. I don't really believe it's cheaper than Thailand because many Filipinos I've worked with over here have told me opposite. So I kind of believe them that, it is actually cheaper in Thailand than the Philippines. I mean, put it down in the comments what you think. A lot of people argue that the Philippines is actually cheaper than Thailand. But when I hear it from the horse's mouth, a lot of Filipinos who live over here, so they've lived in the Philippines a long time, and now they've lived in Thailand a long time working, and they're comparing both countries. I think that's quite different to a tourist. And they all have told me the same, that it's cheaper in Thailand. One of the great things about the Philippines is, the level of English spoken in that country. I've met hundreds of Filipinos living over in Thailand, working here as a teacher before. And, there has been lots of them tell me about the Philippines and what a great place it is to live. But they also said about how much crime there was there, and it is a lot safer in Thailand. So that would be one element as a retiree that would put me off actually living there. And obviously everyone says about the English level in the Philippines being superb. Everyone can speak English to you to, an intermediate level, even the street vendors. So this is a massive positive about the Philippines. They have got a good retirement visa option in the Philippines as well. That would be a real plus. It's quite flexible and easy to get as well. I mean, the islands, I don't need to even tell you. I mean, some of the islands are world famous, throughout the Philippines to go and visit. There's literally thousands of beautiful islands you can go and visit in the Philippines. So, if you're looking for crystal clear water and beautiful beaches, then, Philippines could be for you. Some of the good things about retiring in Thailand, obviously they've got the retirement visa that I discuss a lot on here. So if you're over 50 years old, if you have an income of 65,000 baht per month coming in, or 800,000 Thai baht in your bank account, you also need some other documents as well that I've done on another video. The second massive pro is, it's a great place for medical care. Hospitals are top notch in Thailand. They're some of the best in Asia. You're looking for decent medical coverage in proper world-class hospitals, and look no further than Thailand. And if you compare that to the Philippines, I think that could be a con of the Philippines where I think there is great healthcare in the Philippines, but not all over the country for sure. It's in certain big cities in the Philippines. So if you lived out on some of the islands, you would struggle, I think. Whereas in Thailand, if you're in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Koh Samui, Hua Hin, Pattaya, for sure there is world-class hospitals in each of these places, guys. International accredited hospitals. Another massive pro is the infrastructure in Thailand is phenomenal. To get around the country, up, down, around, buses, trains, buses, I don't know, trains maybe not quite so good, but buses definitely, and the airport links, they've got two main airports in Bangkok that you can go all over Asia and internally in Thailand, traveling very, very easily and cheap, to be honest with you. But you can get up and down the country around very, very easy. The road networks are very, very good. They've got toll roads in certain areas around Bangkok. To get down to Pattaya, for example, there's a toll road, which is excellent. You can get from central Bangkok to Pattaya in 90 minutes. Hey guys, if you've got a minute, just subscribe to the channel, help us out. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs before Christmas. I'm putting lots more videos out these days. Check them all out on YouTube. In Thailand, there's diverse living options. So you can live in very, very cheap condo or something very, very more expensive, like a 5-star luxury villa. So there's something for every budget in Thailand. For both countries, I think importing goods, foods is expensive, in the Philippines and in Thailand too. If you really like your old habits from the West and you want some of your beans on toast, then yeah, you're going to have to pay for it. Beans on toast, not too expensive, to be honest. Another biggie is power cuts, especially in the rainy season. In the Philippines, they have definitely a problem with power cuts. I've heard lots of people who live there who told me this, especially in rural areas. Now, in Thailand, it's not so much. Yes, sometimes in the north, they do a bit, especially during the rainy season. But I definitely think in the Philippines, the power cuts are more frequent than they would be in Thailand. And if you look at infrastructure in the Philippines, it takes a long time to get to the destination. It is quite notorious for that. I've heard many foreigners tell me this, so it must be true. As in Thailand, yeah, there are some disruptions sometimes, but quite rarely, to be honest with you. They do get a lot of traffic in both countries. You know, in Thailand, I've driven around Thailand a lot over the last 12, 13 years. And, oh, yeah, traffic jams, they are, you know, all over the country, even up the north. You'd be surprised, especially certain times of year. And I think Philippines the same, suffers with, you know, a lot of traffic. Maybe that's just the modern world now. Everywhere's got so much bloody traffic. There's so many big areas that just have massive expat communities and retiree communities. I think a lot more than the Philippines. Come on, let me know in the comments, guys. You know, you probably know the Philippines if you're living there more than I do. So I want you to try and help out some of the guys who are thinking about retiring in either of these places, you know, make an informed decision. I think the next one would be natural disasters. I mean, in the Philippines, they do have natural disasters in the Philippines, a lot more than they do in Thailand. So, you know, there are typhoons, there is more flooding than there is in Thailand. In Thailand, I've lived there 12, 13 years. And over that time, we had one big flood in 2011. And that's it. Not really had much else. There's been bits of flooding, but nothing that excessive. That was a big flood in 2011. That kind of affected a lot of people. Food, you can't argue that Thailand is not the best place in the world for food. Come on, guys. Everyone knows, like, Thailand cuisine is cheap. You know, you can get street food or you can get 5-star luxury food over here. And I think even Filipinos told me, you know, yeah, they love their own home food, but they say, you know, the food over here is phenomenally good, especially in a place like Bangkok. I don't know if you've ever been to Bangkok, guys, but literally all the different foods from around the country come into Bangkok because so many different people live there. So, you know, make sure you check out Bangkok because you can get a bit of taste of the whole of Thailand. Because Thailand cuisine is very different, depends where you are, north, south, east, west, wherever. You know, it does taste very, very different. If you look at air pollution, I think, oh, maybe Thailand's worse for air pollution, actually, than the Philippines. Let us know in the comments, guys, about the Philippines air pollution. I think it's probably a lot better than it would be in Thailand. You know, Thailand has suffered over the last few years with burning the crops, especially up the north of Thailand and other areas around Thailand. They have had a bit of a problem with air pollution. Hopefully, you know, the country's trying to do something about this to try and, you know, make the air quality better here in Thailand. Both countries are ridiculously humid. I think you can't argue there. You know, they're both as bad as each other. They're very, very hot. In the north of Thailand, it does get a little bit cooler. Let us know in the comments about the Philippines. You know, does it get cooler in any of the places around Philippines, or is it always hot and humid everywhere? The rainy season, I think both countries suffer with the monsoon season and get a lot of flooding, guys. So, you know, if you're coming to Thailand or the Philippines to retire, just be aware that, you know, flooding is rampant everywhere in this area. I think all over Asia, to be honest with you guys. So, yeah, just get used to that. That's going to be a part of life during certain months of the year. If you want to date any girls out in either of these two countries, I think they're both good for, you know, dating women, but I would actually say, you know, the Philippines is a pretty awesome place to find a girlfriend. You know, the language barrier is eradicated, so that would be a massive bonus. Oh, I forgot, I'm married to a Thai lady. Maybe I can't say this. If I got married again, maybe I'd pick a Filipino. I'm joking. No, I can't say that. My wife might be listening. What about permanent residency and citizenship in the country? I think in Thailand, it's very, very difficult to get citizenship and residency here. You have to be working a long time over here and have a continuous work permit and other things as well. So it's quite tricky. You know, there are notorious stories of, you know, people who were born here who haven't even got residency. So it's not impossible, but it is tricky. In the Philippines, it is, I presume, a little bit easier to get residency. Let me know in the comments. I'm not sure about this one. If someone has got residency, been living over there, is it even possible? I don't know. Tell me in the comments, guys. I don't know everything. This is just to help you decide between the both. And I'm hoping that, you know, guys in the comments can help us by commenting, telling us about the Philippines, telling us about Thailand, and giving us lots of information. You guys who live here permanently, some of you already, I'm sure, who watch the channel. Wow, that was pretty intense, George. Sorry, I was a bit off one today. I just had a coffee. Right. For me personally, you know, I choose Thailand. You know that because I'm living in Thailand a long time. I'm married to a Thai and I do call this my home now in Thailand. But I think Philippines is a great option for some people. So, you know, I promote Thailand and I love Thailand and I think it's a great place to retire. But, you know, everyone is individual. Everybody wants different things. So you should watch lots of different videos on lots of different things, lots of different countries, and see which country suits you guys. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Check out some of my other videos up here or here. Check them out. And I'll see you on the next video, guys. Have a nice day.